Before we start with our next chapter, let me introduce you to three terms: nutrition, food, and nutrients. These three terms somewhere sounds very similar, but there are a lot of differences. Let us slowly look into it. First is nutrition. What is nutrition? Nutrition is the process by which organisms collect and utilize the food for growth and repair. I repeat, nutrition is the process by which organisms collect and utilize the food for growth and repair. I'll make it more simple. See, for example, plants. How do they make their food? They make their food using the sunlight. And in our case, we are dependent on plants. We go to the market, buy the raw materials, then come back home, cook, and then eat. Yes? So, see, we have two different types of nutrition here. In first, what did we see? The plant is dependent on the sunlight. In the second case, animals, that is us, we are dependent on plants. So, how are we marking this difference? We have marked this difference depending on how we collect and how we utilize the food. So, depending on the way we collect and utilize the food, we have, in the example stated, we see two different types of nutrition. Plants make their own food from sunlight, so they are autotrophic. They have autotrophic mode of nutrition. Autotrophic, auto means self, so they make their food by their own self. And animals depend on plants, so we see heterotrophic type of nutrition. So nutrition is the process by which organisms collect and utilize the food for growth and repair. Next is food. So when we are hungry, what do we have? Mom gives us rice, chapati, dal. Do you ever have your pencil, your books, your water bottle when you are hungry? No, we usually don't do this. Why? Because foods are substances which, on being taken, gives you immediate energy and also helps in our growth and development. I repeat, food are substances which, on being taken, gives us energy and helps us in growth. When we have a cut in our body, this is through food. The skin gets repaired. It is basically from the energy which is being provided by the food. Next comes nutrients. What are nutrients? Nutrients are the ingredients of food. They are the organic and inorganic constituent of food which help us to perform all basic functions. Like, you have carbohydrate rich food, your rice. You have protein rich food, chicken, pulses. Okay, so this is nutrients. So I repeat, nutrition is the process of how we collect and utilize our food. Foods are substances which, after taken in, gives us energy and also helps us to grow. And nutrients are the constituent of our food. They may be organic or inorganic. Keeping this in mind, today we will start with the third chapter of our science book, that is food and health. See, we eat foods such as rice, wheat, vegetables, fruit, milk, butter, and these food, what do? They make our bodies strong and healthy. These substances that are present in the food make us strong, healthy, and also gives us energy. And what are they called? They are our nutrients present in the food. Now the question is, what are the main nutrients in our food? They include carbohydrate, protein, fat, minerals and vitamin. I repeat, the main nutrients in our food includes carbohydrate, protein, fat, minerals and vitamin. Apart from nutrients, there are other two important substances which include water and roughage. Now, roughage, green vegetables and fruits are some source of roughage. This should be included in your diet, okay? And very importantly, we should drink 8 to 10 glasses of water in a day. Keeping healthy is very important. One should have a sound health in order to have a good life. You remember the proverb? Health is wealth. A balanced diet, adequate exercise, rest help us to keep healthy. Now, what is a balanced diet? A balanced diet is that diet which contains sufficient amount of all the nutrients as well as enough water and dietary fiber. I repeat, a diet that contains sufficient amount of all the nutrients as well as enough water and dietary fiber is a balanced diet. So your diet should contain all the nutrients. What are they? Carbohydrate, protein, fat, mineral, vitamin. And adding to that, it should also contain water. Like I said, that we should be having 8 to 10 glasses of water a day, and should also include roughage, which is found in green vegetables and fruits. Now, the question is, why is balanced diet important? Balanced diet is important because it helps in the proper growth of our body. It helps us to keep away from various diseases, so it is keeping our immune system strong. Balanced diet, most importantly, plays a crucial role in improving our memory and stamina. I repeat, balanced diet is important for proper growth of our body. It helps us to stay away from germs, and it helps in improving our memory and stamina. Now we shall talk about a very common topic, junk food. How do you define junk food in a word? Unhealthy food. Why unhealthy food? Because these foods are high in fats and sugar, and they have low nutrient content in them. I repeat, junk foods are unhealthy food because they contain high amount of fat and sugar in them and low nutrient content. Example: chips, burger, fry, pizza, chocolate, candies, and the list continues. So I repeat, junk foods are unhealthy foods because they are high in fats and sugar and low in nutrients. Now let us check, why do the elderly people continuously say us not to have junk food and stick only to the homemade food? You have got a lot of reminders from school as well previously. So let us look into the adverse effect of junk food. See, daily consumption of junk food makes the brain weak and non-functional. Why weak and non-functional? Because you are not giving your body the balanced diet. You are having unhealthy foods, you are having junk foods which are only rich in fats and sugar, and they have they have low nutrient content in them. So if you have it regularly, this may lead to loss of memory. Next, they are addictive, they are very addictive in nature. Like, you have once, you feel like having for the second time, for the third time, and you keep on having, and this usually leads to overeating. Now when you start overeating, what happens? It results in child obesity. You start turning fat. Now when we start becoming fat, when a lot of fat is being accumulated in our body, this again invites a lot of chronic diseases. It may be diabetes, it may be heart attack, the list continues. So as a whole, the body becomes deficient in nutrient. So I hope now that you know about the junk food and its adverse effect, you'll carry only homemade food for your